Alright, I'm back. This is another video. This one's going to be part 2 of WWF versus WWE. You can't see me. You can't see me. Now, where I left off in part 1, I was talking about the professional wrestler Sting and how his storyline with Triple H should have been 3 matches in 3 weeks building up to WrestleMania. I said that the last match, it should have been Sting versus John Cena. And in that match, you could have had Triple H either interfered in the match or come out as special guest referee, and that would have told us the story. Okay, now we know why Sting and Triple H are going to face off at WrestleMania. And to me, I didn't want Triple H to beat Sting in his first match at WrestleMania 2 years ago, back in 2015. I would have preferred if Sting won his first match at WrestleMania, and then you set up a rematch, Sting versus Triple H Part 2. And that way, Sting could have lost the rematch. You could have made it where if Sting loses his rematch to Triple H, he loses the right to challenge for the title, because now you have a story to tell to the audience. And then, okay, Sting wants another match. You do Sting versus Triple H Part 3. And to make that match so interesting, you put a twist. You make it where Vince McMahon becomes the special guest referee, and Sting's about to win the match. Triple H is about to go in for the kill, and then Vince McMahon turns on Triple H and Sting picks up the win, but Sting's confused. Why did Vince McMahon screw over Triple H? This would then allow the audience to try to get behind the character of Sting more, so then they can make the connection to his character 100% of the time. That's what they should have done with Sting, the character. Now, Steve Borden is the real man who plays Sting in television of professional wrestling. That's how they should have handled the character of Sting. And then, of course, he got injured when he wrestled Seth Rollins, and that ended his wrestling career, and then he ends up in the WWE Hall of Fame. That had Sting came during the time period of the Attitude Era or the ruthless aggression era, had Sting came in those eras, Sting would have probably been a 4-time WWE champion had he came 7 years earlier than what we got. Now, another thing they could have done with Sting if he was going to lose to Triple H is put him in a program with The Undertaker. Now, Vince McMahon said that that wouldn't be a good idea, and I'm here to say that Vince McMahon is absolutely wrong. You don't know what the wrestling fans want today in today's time period. You knew what fans wanted 10, 15 years ago, but today you don't. Had you did Sting versus The Undertaker instead of Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, you would have had a bigger fan base, a bigger audience, 10 times the audience, and everyone would have tuned in just to see that one wrestling match. It would have been the perfect story of Undertaker's character. And then if Undertaker had to lose, it could have been to someone like Sting. Then it would make sense for people to say, well, I see why Sting lost at WrestleMania. He's going against The Undertaker, and Undertaker's the fan favorite. So if you had Undertaker beat Sting in his first match at WrestleMania, it makes perfect sense. And you see, and then if you still wanted to involve Brock Lesnar, then it would have turned into a triple threat. You could have said Undertaker versus Brock versus Sting. Then it would have made sense. And then if you had to have Triple H be the catalyst, he could have been special guest referee. That would have allowed Triple H to say, well, Brock, you're not winning this match. Triple H pedigrees the hell out of Brock Lesnar, puts Brock out of the match. Then Sting and Taker go at it. Triple H thinks Sting needs help, so Triple H tries to help Sting win the match, but Sting looks at Triple H, I don't want your help. And then boom, tombstone Sting, Undertaker wins the damn match with Triple H and Undertaker looking face to face, eye to eye. And then that would have been how you would sell the rematch, Sting versus Undertaker Part 2. where Sting would most likely want a rematch. Sting wins the rematch, I guess, maybe at Backlash or at the next pay-per-view. Sting wins because it's his home field advantage. He beats The Undertaker. They're 1-for-1. And then to finish off the trilogy, you would do Sting versus Undertaker Part 3, where you would now finally have a match where they're locked in a cage. And it doesn't matter who wins the match. Brock's pissed. Brock tears the cage door off, attacks both people, leaves the cage, and then it's up to either Sting or Taker to want to finish the match. Just when Taker is about to finally put it into Sting, Triple H come out and knocks Undertaker out. Sting thinks he's going to go for the win, and Triple H lays Sting out, bringing more anticipation into the story. And then finally Taker gets the win because Kane comes out and make sure no one else interferes in this match. And then it causes Sting to look at Kane, and Kane laughing and smiling at Sting like, aha, you lost to my brother Undertaker. Now you put Sting in a new program. Sting versus Kane. Where Sting will probably win 2 out of the 3 matches against Kane. Because now you build his character up to where now we know who Sting is in these 9 wrestling matches. We had 9 matches to understand Sting's evolution in WWE. So Undertaker still wins a match. He wins 2 of them. Triple H won a match here and there. So it ain't like your favorite WWE stars didn't win against Sting. That's what you do with Sting. Now, let's talk about when Goldberg made his return back to the WWE last year. Now, I liked when Goldberg came back, but I felt that it was rushed. I felt he came back too fast. And I felt that when he beat Brock Lesnar in the first 2 matches, they made no sense. When he beat him at Survivor Series for the title, it really came so damn quick. It was like, I wanted to see what would have happened if Brock really was able to match power and strength with Goldberg in their first match last year at Survivor Series. Then when we got to the Royal Rumble this year, and Brock got eliminated in the Royal Rumble by Goldberg, I thought that it really made no sense whatsoever. And when they fought for the 3rd time at WrestleMania, I thought it was a shitty-ass wrestling match. Why in all 3 of these matches, they end so damn conveniently short? Now, some might say, well, Alex, that 3rd match lasted longer than both those matches. That's true. But that's not how you build up Goldberg and Brock Lesnar. Those were some terrible attempts by the creative writing team to make those characters look good. What should have happened was, it should have been Goldberg versus Kevin Owens first, to see where Goldberg's at. Brock Lesnar take on someone like Mark Henry or The Show, and then you put a twist. You see how Braun Strowman come out and just fight, right? You could have done Goldberg versus Braun Strowman. Whoever won that match now has a right to Brock Lesnar's title. That's what you do with Goldberg. If you're going to have Goldberg in the Royal Rumble, he has to win the Royal Rumble. He just can't be in the Rumble just for the sake of being in the Royal Rumble. You make it where Goldberg wants to win the Royal Rumble. In order for him to win it, he has to go through either Roman Reigns or The Undertaker. Goldberg and Undertaker take care of Roman Reigns. And finally, it's just Goldberg, Undertaker. That's what you do with his character. You give him something that he has to work towards to. And then you have Goldberg win the Royal Rumble, because then it makes sense for him to have to do what? Face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But if Goldberg's the champ, he don't need to be in the Royal Rumble. And if Brock Lesnar is trying to get the title back, then Brock should have to win the Royal Rumble. And then Brock has to face him at WrestleMania for the title. So now it has proper build-up. Now let's get to what they've done to Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Now, I like the fact that Kurt Angle came back. Hold on, I got a runny nose. Hold on, people. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. I don't want no snot coming out of my nose and out of my mouth. And then Jimmy be like, damn it, Alex. Why you always keep living in the middle of these videos? Damn it, Alex. Do I have to show you how to be a film director and how to do a YouTube video? Because, Jimmy be on me real tough about these YouTube videos. And he be looking at all my videos and he be giving me a lot of feedback behind the scenes. Like, damn it, Alex, fix the camera. People on YouTube don't want to see the camera look sideways. Fix it. And I'd be like, slow your roll, Jimmy. But like I was saying, that's what now let's look at Raw and SmackDown. Now, I've noticed they've done the same thing to Nia Jax. Now, the past 2 years, they've built her up as a monster. She come on Raw and whoop everybody's butt. And then all of a sudden, she loses a pay-per-view match. Okay, that's just one match. Then she loses 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Before you know it, she's lost all 10 wrestling matches. And then you'd be like, is Nia Jax ever going to be the women's Raw champion ever? The answer is no. And you see, WWE has done this intentionally on purpose to sabotage her character. So now you can't make that connection to her character. Now they're trying a love story with Enzo, which that might do more harm than good. Then you got broken Matt Hardy. Now, I understand that they're trying to make people like Matt Hardy by using that character, but if you're going to use broken Matt Hardy, there's some things with the character that you have to do that TNA never focus on. Like him being world champions, what TNA did. And I don't see broken Matt Hardy ever being champion. I don't ever see broken Matt Hardy being in a main event. Now, it's good he's wrestling Bray Wyatt. That's good. That's fantastic. But you get the feeling when they bring a character like this to TV, you expect so much more of a character. Then when you look at Kurt Angle and his little segments with his son in television, that it's nice they brought Kurt Angle back, but how are you going to do Kurt Angle versus Triple H? What I would like them to do is Kurt Angle versus Samoa Joe in WWE. Why? Because I don't want to see Kurt Angle versus Triple H just quite yet unless you can figure out what you're going to do with Kurt Angle's character. Because him being backstage and trying to give his son some advice in his wrestling matches is cool and all, but there's already a story between him and Samoa Joe. It was good for him to be a part of Survivor Series. I loved it. Kurt Angle showed that he could still wrestle in his mid-40s. It's good. But I still think Kurt needs maybe 2 or 3 more matches to know if he's back all the way. Now, how do I feel about SmackDown and AJ Styles? I believe that it's good that AJ Styles is champion again. I just feel like that there's something missing from SmackDown. We've seen AJ Styles and John Cena, AJ Styles and Randy Orton. He's clashing with Jinder Mahal. But I still feel like there's still something missing that needs to be on SmackDown, and I just don't know what it is yet. And you see, right now SmackDown is a better show than Raw as far as rating-wise because of Shane McMahon. But I feel like that what would be a good idea is that if by next year they do a switch. Bring AJ Styles back to Raw as champion and then Brock Lesnar to SmackDown. Because, and see, I'm going to get to my next point about Brock Lesnar and what I'm having trouble with Brock Lesnar. Ever since they brought Brock Lesnar back since 2012, it's been hard to figure out in some matches why Brock looks powerful and then why in some other matches he looks weak. And what I can't get is when every time Brock Lesnar's champion, they seem to ruin Brock Lesnar's character. I've noticed without the belt, Brock Lesnar is a monster. You go backstage and you ask for an autograph, and Brock probably might look at you like he might rip your effing head off. But when you see the championship belt, he looks powerful, but then all of a sudden he loses the belt. It's like, wait a minute, if he's supposed to be the champion long term, why can't Brock hold on to the belt long term until it makes sense in the storyline that he should lose? And then he never shows up on Raw when he's being mentioned. He shows up on Raw when he's not being mentioned. And I don't blame Brock Lesnar or Paul Heyman for it. I blame the creative writing team for it. Because if he's champion is supposed to be on the show all day. Champion is supposed to take on all challengers, all comers. not show up when he wants to. And you see, when you do that, you devalue the belts and you devour the word champion. Like, other words, how is people going to take you serious when you win the championship belt? So this is only part 2 of the video. Hold on, let me check the time, people. Okay, we're 15 minutes in. And in part 3, I'm going to talk about why the championship belts are worthless and why we don't have no stars. And part 3 of WWF versus WWE. I'm going to make a part 3 sometime next week. So this is it for the back-to-back videos. I hope you like them. You know, rate, comment, subscribe. And look out for my Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi movie review coming soon. All right, have a good day. Peace.